let's study pituitary gland or hypophysis. It weighs 0.5 gram. Most important endocrine gland lies in a cavity of sphenoid bone, the sella turcica. Hypophysis is divided into two portions. Adenohypophysis, the glandular epithelial tissue, arises from the superficial ectoderm. Neurohypophysis, the neurosecretory tissue, arises from neuroectoderm. Adenohypophysis constitutes anterior lobe. Neurohypophysis constitutes posterior lobe. Adenohypophysis. Adenohypophysis consists of three portions: pars distalis, pars tuberalis, and pars intermedia. Pars distalis dominates the adenohypophysis. We may learn it. The cells are arranged in cords interspersed with blood sinusoids. Common stains allow the recognition of two cell types in the pars distalis: chromophils and chromophores. Chromophils are stained deeply and also divided into two types: acidophils and basophils. Chromophores are not stained intensely. Some of them are considered as undifferentiated cells, and others are chromophils without granules. Chromophils are the emphasis. The subtypes of acidophils and basophils are named for the hormones they produce. In this picture, 1 is acidophil, 2 is basophil, 3 is chromophore, 4 is sinusoid. The cells of hypophysis all belong to nitrogenous hormone secreting cells. We will learn chromophils one by one. First type of acidophils, somatotropes. Most commonly cells constitute 50% of anterior lobe. They produce GH, growth hormone, which can stimulate growth and replication by accelerating the rate of protein synthesis, which can stimulate growth of long bone, acting on differentiation of chondrocytes. Clinical cases: if somatotropes over-secrete before the epiphyseal cartilages close, it will cause an increase in height, weight, and muscle mass called gigantism. In opposite case, called dwarfishness. Second type of acidophils, lactotropes or mammotropes. They produce PRL, prolactin, which promotes mammary gland development, initiates milk formation. Basophils, 3 types. First type, thyrotropes. They produce TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. It stimulates thyroid hormone synthesis, storage, and liberation. Second type, corticotropes. They produce ACTH, which stimulates the secretion of adrenal cortex hormones. Last type, gonadotropes. They secrete FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, and LH, luteinizing hormone. FSH and LH also can be secreted by the same cell. Major function of FSH. In females, FSH promotes follicle development and secretion of estrogens by ovarian cells. In males, FSH stimulates subtentacular cells. In response, the subtentacular cells promote the physical maturation of developing sperm. Major function of LH. In females, it promotes ovarian follicle proliferation and progesterone secretion, which prepare the body for possible pregnancy. In males, it is essential for maintenance of androgen secretion by interstitial cells of the testes. Pars tuberalis is a funnel-shaped region surrounding the infundibulum of neurohypophysis. Pars intermedia contains follicles. Functions is unknown. In frogs, the cells produce MSH, which stimulates pigment production in melanocytes. Blood supply of adenohypophysis. To understand the functioning of the hypophysis, it is very important to study this blood supply. Superior hypophyseal artery penetrates the upper part of pars tuberalis into the infundibulum and form primary capillary plexus of fenestrated capillaries. They then rejoin to form several hypophyseal portal veins at the lower part of pars tuberalis. Hypophyseal portal veins penetrate into the pars distalis and form the secondary capillary plexus, then form venules and venous sinuses and leave the hypophysis. This is the blood supply of the adenohypophysis. Hypothalamus has a very close relationship with the adenohypophysis just through this blood supply. Firstly, we must know a professional term, hypophyseal portal system. Hypophyseal portal veins and two groups of capillary plexus are termed HPS. It carries neurohormones produced by arcuate nuclei of hypothalamus to the pars distalis and control the activities of the cells. The arcuate nuclei of hypothalamus contain neurosecretory cells, which are both neurons and endocrine cells. Hypothalamus controls of the pars distalis by neurohormones through hypophyseal portal system. Two types of neurohormones, releasing hormones, 6 kinds including TRH, GnRH, GRH, CRH, PRH, and MSRH, to stimulate the synthesis and secretion of one or more hormones at the pars distalis. Inhibiting hormones, 3 kinds including somatostatin, PIH, and MSIH, to inhibit the synthesis and secretion of hormones from the pars distalis. Hypothalamus controls the pars distalis. Neurohormones are carried by axons and released to primary capillary plexus, then to the hypophyseal portal vein, then to the secondary capillary plexus, and then leave capillaries to the pars distalis and control the activities of the cells. Hormones secreted by the pars distalis enter the secondary capillary plexus and are carried to circulate all over the body to control the activities of endocrine glands. Neurohypophysis. Neurohypophysis contains pars nervosa and infundibulum composed of medium, eminence, and stem. Pars nervosa. It is composed of unmyelinated axons of neurosecretory neurons, whose cell bodies are located in supraoptic and paraventricular nuclei in hypothalamus. The neurosecretions are transported along the axons and accumulate at their endings in the pars nervosa. Here, they form structures known as herring bodies that are visible in the light microscope. The hormones are then distributed to the general circulation. Hormones include ADH and OCT. Major function of ADH. The antidiuretic hormone ADH or vasopressin, which is produced by supraoptic nuclei, promote water reabsorption in kidney. In large dose, ADH also stimulates the contraction of smooth muscle of small arteries and arterioles, increasing the blood pressure. Major function of oxytocin, OCT. Oxytocin is actually synthesized by paraventricular nuclei in the hypothalamus and is stored in the neurohypophysis. In the uterus, at the end of gestation, the uterus must contract vigorously in order to deliver the fetus. During the later stages of gestation, oxytocin enhances contraction of uterine smooth muscle to facilitate parturition or birth. In the mammary glands, oxytocin also stimulates the ejection of milk when infants suckle. Now, take thyroid gland as an example. Let's have a summary of the relationship among the hypothalamus, hypophysis, and thyroid gland. Then you will have a deeper understanding about the endocrine system. Hypothalamus secretes thyrotropin-releasing hormone to the pars distalis of hypophysis to promote the secretion of the thyroid-stimulating hormone, which leaves the hypophysis to the thyroid gland to promote the secretion of thyroxine. The thyroxine makes its functions to the body, and at the same time, thyroid gland also secretes some factors as feedback to the hypothalamus to regulate its functions. Thus, the organs in our body can cooperate well. Okay, about this clinical case, I'm sure you can answer the questions by yourself. That's all. Thank you. See you later.